Right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Arbitrage Trade Analytics Sunday Seminar for April 19th, 2020. I am Royce Wells, the owner and founder of Arbitrage Trade, and I'm going to show you guys how to trade for a living, and I'm going to also show you some of the new stuff that's headed your way. Uh, First off, if this is your first seminar, don't feel intimidated by everything that you see here. I'll explain each and every single piece, including our new indicator, Arbitrage Z Pro, which if you have Arbitrage Z, you'll love Arbitrage Z Pro because it gives you the ability to look at things on multi-time frames. Okay, but let's start from the top and let's introduce the premise and the basis for the system as it is. Okay. First off, I'm going to remove all the indicators and show you guys how to bring them back. Because if you're using TradingView, if this is your first time ever using TradingView, and if you don't know what TradingView is an awesome system. It came about right about the same time that I did, and it allowed me to easily show what I was calculating and be able to share it with you guys. So TradingView is an awesome tool for that. So first off, if you're in TradingView, depending on the size of your screen, so I'm going to change the size of my screen just slightly by moving the window that was over here, the details pane, and closing that, and it'll actually show you the indicators and everything else that goes with it. So to get to our indicators, if you've already signed up for Arbitrage Trade, or if you have another indicator that you wanted to use on TradingView in general, you'd click Indicators. If you have our indicators, you would go to invite-only scripts. And the first thing I'm going to turn on is the new Arbitrage Bands 8.0, which we should be releasing sometime today. So probably after the seminar 8.0, for everyone who has the older version, you will have this version. This version has taken a while to be put out because there are so many users that use it. And we want to make sure that when we release it, there aren't a ton of bugs. So we have been doing our best to make sure that it is ready for you guys. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on Arbitrage Bands 8.0 and show you what it does. So this is an arbitrage band. It's different from a Bollinger Band because a Bollinger Band, I think, measures the 20 simple moving average. I think it does 2 standard deviations to figure out what's going on. 2 standard deviations are okay, but we want to know everything that's possible. And because we want to know everything that's possible, we actually use all 3 standard deviations to try to figure out what's going to happen in the trade, so that way we don't lose anyone along the way. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do now is add and simplify this indicator so we can get to the grassroots of what it's doing and what it's trying to show us. So first off, I'm going to turn off almost all the flags, and you can do that by clicking the gear next to the indicator's name to do that. So I'm going to remove show candles, compass, momentum, danger zones, and I'm just going to leave show band and show RSI. So the premise of this system, actually, I'm going to even remove the candles so we're not even bothered by those. The premise of this entire system, and this is the stock that we're looking at on the daily time frame, is this black line can never leave this orange or brown band area. Basically, this lets us know if the trend is going in our way or going against us. When it's at the top of the band, it's considered overbought. When it's at the bottom of the band, it's considered oversold. Real simple. Typically, when the candles are above this black line, you're in a buy trend. When they're below, you're in a sell trend. And that keeps us straight as far as knowing if we should be in the trade or if we should not be in the trade. To make it a little bit easier, though, we also add the ability to what we call show exits. Show exits puts a little triangle when it's time to get in and when it's time to get out. So literally it's letting you know, hey, I've penetrated past this line, I've broken back above this line, so that way you can maximize your time in and out and minimize your losses if there are going to be losses. Because like with indicator, there are sometimes losses where it goes up and then it can't hold it and it comes right back down. But instead of going all the way down to here, we get you out as soon as we know it's time to leave. Okay. So that's building the foundation for our universe. What creates those triangles, you're asking? It's not just the candles, because sometimes the candles will hug the line. What creates our entry and exit points is something we call the compass. That's a blue line. It acts just like a Boy Scout's compass. Anytime we see the blue line cross above the black line, that's our entrance. If we see it cross under, that is our exit. So we've added a lot of stuff to the chart so far to basically figure all of this out. And this in and of itself would be enough to trade and trade successfully. But it was not enough for us. So we kept adding, trying to make it even more, because at this point, we still can't isolate or say, show me all of the stocks or all of the Forex pairs that are sitting in this position, because we can't currently triangulate where that black line is, right? So we have to have some type of measure to say, okay, this is where it is or this is where it's not. That's where our danger zones came into effect. So basically a danger zone is there literally just to tell on that black line. So if that black line is in the danger zone, that lets us know that it's oversold. Likewise, when that black line is in the top of the danger zone, we know that it's overbought and we should expect some down after it makes it into this danger zone. So it's letting us know that the uptrend is in danger, and it's letting us know that the downtrend that was in progress is in danger and is turning into an uptrend. This allows us to accurately enter and exit the market. And with this is enough to trade the system, but this is still a lot of things. I have introduced a line, another line, a band, arrows, a bunch of stuff. So this was how arbitrage first started. And this is how these are our building blocks to make things true. However, as we evolved, and we evolved with the assistance of our members who said, Royce, that's very tradable. However, it may be a bit much for me to grasp. On day one, I want to be able to make a trade. I don't want to necessarily have to learn more than I already know. I already know technical analytics. I may even use fundamental analytics. And basically, I just want the go or no-go buy and sell signal. And that which led us to Atlas. Atlas is pretty much like a road atlas. So I'm going to turn off our arbitrage band temporarily, and I'm going to show you with the defaults turned on. We have literally two rules. If it's green, you're in the trade. If it's red, you're not. Goes back green, you stay in the trade. Goes back red, you're not. So that made it like a light switch, and it allowed you to play on whichever time frame that you wanted. And that basically allowed people to play and succeed when they were trading. Not all trades were winning trades, because sometimes, like I said, sometimes it turns violently, randomly. But for the most part, if you got in using the Atlas and just the band changing color, we would be able to trade this. I'm going to tell you a lot about the system and a lot about how I trade this system. So what I consider to be the best practices for this system. Lots of people like to, in the system, there are roughly 5 bands that you guys know about. And those bands I consider them to be like radio stations. By default, the Atlas is set to RSI because it is the radio station that's just before the arbitrage band, which allows us to have foreshadowing, which allows us to get in the trade a little bit earlier and leave the trade a little bit earlier before it changes direction on us. So let's see, as I bring this guy up, I'm going to switch to one of my favorite pairs, GBP, JPY, because I love trading Forex. All right. And typically on larger time frames, so anything larger than 30 minutes, I am using the arbitrage band to make my decisions on if I'm trading. Anything less than 1 hour, I'm using the Apocalypse Band, which is our biggest radio station, to figure out what I'm trading, because typically when I'm trading, I like to stay in a trade for a good uh, 1 to 2 weeks, if at all possible, and make 4,000 to 5,000 pips or more. And if you were using US dollars, that means I'm staying in a trade and I'm making 40 to 50% on my investment every single time. So I'm definitely okay with that. And let me show you how this system actually works. So wouldn't it be great if, for example, this large crash that we saw here at the beginning, so this is on an hourly time frame. This is GBP JPY. This is on April 14th. Let me move this menu real quick. Push it out of the way. This real quick. All right. And this guy, he was trading at 135 and he got all the way down to 133. That's a 2,000 pip move if you were in that trade, or if you saw that trade. We were able to see that trade for two reasons. One, we have what we call our windows of opportunity. It actually shows us when things are getting overbought or oversold, and it cues us with little dollar signs saying this is the end, this is the top, or likewise, this is the bottom. So a green dollar sign means we've just reached an apex. A red dollar sign just means we just reached a bottom. So that means anytime you see a green one, you're going to see downfall. Anytime you see a red, you should see it go up some every single time. And how we're doing that is all we're using, this system is 100% based on physics and mathematics. And so that basically brings in our next indicator, what we call arbitrage Z. Arbitrage Z is measuring what in statistics is called a Z score. And each band has a Z score based on how many candles that are in it. Z by default has literally, it's measuring all of the bands all together. So if I open here, these are all of the bands that are in the system. And this, what we do with Z, it says, okay, take all of them, add them all together, and give me a score of in or out. Should I be in or out? So as long as Z is above this line, we should be in an uptrend. The instant we see that it is not, we should be gone. Likewise, it always catches it before the fall. Because one thing, basically, it's saying your probability of having a downtrend begins now. Your same thing here. But as long as it's in the green area, all your probability is pointing to up. So we can use this to tune into all the bands all at once. Or say, for example, if we are using the arbitrage band and we are using this set to compass, let's try it on compass. Compass is 2 away from where I usually have it set, but compass is what everything else is based upon. So anytime we see the compass pokes out of the top, we should be taking profit. The uptrend is ending. Likewise, if we see it poke out of the bottom, we should be expecting it to go up soon. These are aggressive entries if you want to take them. But we are showing them because we're not trying to tell you how to trade. We're just showing you what your probability and what the odds are of your trades being successful are. And if it's green, your odds are pretty good for an uptrend. And if it's red, your odds are pretty good for a downtrend. What's cool about this, or what's in addition cool about this, is our level pro indicator. Our level pro indicator not only measures the probability, because it doesn't measure probability. All it's measuring is the slope of this band. So as long as this slope of this band, that means the center line of this band, and let me turn off some of the stuff. So basically we're back to basics. As long as the center line of this guy is actually has a positive slope, so that means he actually had a positive slope for just a second, and then his slope went back negative. We are actually measuring what's happening with the slope of these lines so that way we're never surprised. Visually, we can be manipulated and see if things are not working or are working, But leveled is there to say, okay, anytime I'm above this dotted green line, I should be in an uptrend. Anytime I'm below this dotted green line, I should be in a downtrend. I am a person who loves confirmations, meaning that means if he's saying the probability of down is happening and he's saying the probability of down is happening and I'm seeing all these red candles, 9 times out of 10, I should not be in a buy. But the hardest part about trading is not actually buying. The hardest part is taking profit or accepting when you're taking a loss. So if I got in a buy right here, for example, and it decided to turn on me, all these things are letting me know, Royce, you're playing the wrong direction. Let's switch direction and actually get on the winning team, right? We actually went one step further with this explanation by actually turning on what we call candle colors. And candle colors are there to allow us to see visually, I'm going to turn back off the band real quick, visually what's going on with the trend. If I am playing an uptrend, if the trend is an uptrend, all I want to see are yellow and white candles. Seeing a blue candle in this game, if I didn't see that Z had topped out, seeing a blue candle lets me know that the slope of my compass line, the line that basically decides if I'm getting in the trend or out of the trend, is now pointing down. If I'm playing up, I don't want it to ever be pointing down. It's the leader. And if the leader is saying we're going down, it's time to go. Likewise, if I'm in a downtrend, I only want to see blue candles. I never want to see a yellow candle. So if I'm seeing a yellow candle, that means that the downtrend that I'm in is coming to an end because the compass has turned back up. So once again, if the band is red and I'm seeing blue candles, that's good. I don't want to see any yellow. And if the band is green, I don't want to see any blue candles. Blue candles are a bad day for an uptrend. So it lets you get out before things turn violently against you. Okay? And just like the radio stations that I previously spoke of, all of these guys, you can set them to whichever band that you want. So you can pick whichever time frame that you would like to play on. And I'm going to switch to the S&P 500 and show you what the Apocalypse Band looks like. The Apocalypse Band is our friend because it literally has predicted every single major crash since 1872 when we went back and looked at the ticker tape. So I'm going to bring this up to the daily time frame, and I'm going to turn off Atlas just for a minute and turn on RSI. See? Okay, sure. Going back to the candles, I'll turn back on the candles real quick before I explain anything else. So a fuchsia candle lets me know, I thought I just saw one. Oh, there it is, yeah. So a fuchsia candle is letting you know that the RSI line is in the danger zone. So the probability of this guy deflecting and going back up is literally less than 1%. You're in the best time to sell zone, which means you should get a nice fall from this candle. And we did. Likewise, you see a green candle. Once again, the RSI line is sitting in the bottom of the band. I'll shrink the band real quick, pardon me, and show you guys what I mean. And this actually is really good because I'm sitting on the RSI, but previously you guys couldn't see the RSI band. Well, in 8.0, guess what? You have an RSI band, a band smaller than the arbitrage band, which allows you to see when things are turning so that way you can profit from them as soon as possible rather than later. So it turns green, you have the ability to actually get in and play from that point. So basically, this guy's actually set the compass. Give me 1 second. And I'm going to turn on the show compass to actually show you where we are. Right? I need to set back to arbitrage. Sorry. I'm just catching up to where I need to be here. So basically, with the band that you're using, the candles also change color. So basically, when I had it set to compass, that alerted me even two radio stations, two frequencies smaller than the other one of when the probability was running out for the other trend to change and go in my favor. So you have the ability now to set these guys, and since the candle colors were added to Atlas just this last week, you have the ability to see as soon as any bad news is happening or as soon as any good news is happening, saying that, yeah, we're not going to fall from this. We should hold this, and up we should go. And likewise, down we should go. Right? So, yes. And now, even in version 8.0, you can actually bring the band all the way down to scalp. So you can make it very, very, very small to be able to see the trend and everything that's associated with the trend as soon as it happens. So let me bring this guy down to scalp as well so that it shows. And scalp is, oh, I don't have the danger zones and stuff on. Give me 1 second. There. All right. So yes, the scalp band is clear, so that way it pairs nicely with Atlas, but you can turn on the danger zone so you can see it if that's something that you're wanting to see. So these are some of the features that are part of the new version 8.0 of the bands. But without further ado, let me show you how to use the website. So once again, the premise is find things and make this easy for you guys to trade, and simply red, you're out, green, you're in, right? So I'm sorry. Let's get back to where I was. I skipped around. I was about to show you guys the Apocalypse band before I got derailed for a second. Give me a second. All right. So going to the Apocalypse band, wouldn't it have been great if you double tap the screen, by the way, in TradingView, it allows you to bring focus to whichever indicator that you're on. And double tap again will bring all of them back. So this is the Apocalypse band showing the 2008 crash, and basically the S&P 500 going from 144 all the way down to 68. So that means you lost half of your money if you never got your alert on this guy telling you to leave. So roughly, let's turn on our Atlas, and let's turn on our exit so we can actually see when it told us to leave. So right about there, near the very top at 149, that's when it signaled us that it was time to go, and on the 2008 crash, and then roughly would have been able to get back in July 2009. So near 88, and then ride as far as it would have let us ride. The same thing is true for the 2000 crash. So literally, this system can catch on the macro scale and on the micro scale. If you guys remembered, I said from the hourly to the hourly up, I'm usually using a smaller band to trade on because I want to be able to trade within a few weeks as opposed to a few months or a few years. This particular, what I'm showing you, this was a 3-year ride down. And that's painful for some, but for others who were playing what we call the Big Short, they made a lot of money. And then from the 2003 all the way to roughly 2008, you had a few hiccups, but for the most part, it was money in the bank. So, and that's where we were. This is where we were. There's 2015. There's 2016, and there's the crash that we just experienced. This was Christmas Eve of 2018. So all of this warned before it happened, and we were able to get all of our clients out before it happened, which made our presence very valuable in this type of market. So let's look at, we're going to bring it down to the 15-minute chart. So now I'm on the 15-minute chart. I'm supposed to be using this band on the 15-minute chart because this allows me to ride very long trends without having to worry about if it's going to turn around on me or not, right? And so this is where just having the Atlas on saves you a lot of grief from having to play in and out because, like you said, you can play in and out. You can even add multiple instances of the band. So some people play with the big band on and the small band on so they can see all of these ins and outs. But that's a lot of ins and out as opposed to just letting the money come to you, right? By leaving the small band off, leave the big band on and says, okay, we're riding up. It says we're riding down. Okay, it says we're riding back up. Literally, let the system work for you, and you don't have to work as hard to play the system. My biggest question that people always ask, though, Royce, okay, you want us to play longer term. That's great. And you even helped us with the candle colors so that way we can see, you know, what's going on and how big and if the trend is going our way. But I still want to know, it's like, okay, maybe I want to know, I still want the smaller trends, right? That's where Z comes in to show you, okay, yeah, there's a top. Okay, there's a top. You can set the Z to be as sensitive to the trend as you want, so that way you can stay in as long as you want. And if you're looking for an exit, yeah, set the Z wherever you want to find an exit, just to make sure you're not missing anything. Inside of TradingView, we have the ability to also do alerts. When you set your alerts up, you click on this alarm clock, and for example, for Atlas, it lists a list of things that I've pre-programmed. So if you only want to see if the band is turned green, you set an alert, background green. If you want to see if it turned red, background red. If you want to see when those sell windows are opening, so when Z runs out of space, you can totally do that too. And based on where it's set for which one you're currently set on, so if I'm set on the Apocalypse band on Atlas, if Z pokes out on the Apocalypse band, on this version of Z, it will only allow you to do the time frame that you on. On the Z Pro, which I'm about to show you guys, it will allow you to do it on any time frame, regardless of the time frame that you're on, which I think will help a little. Okay, so let's get back to here, and we're going to go to the website now to make this a little bit easier. The number one question I always get is, I don't know what to play. How do I know what to play? What is there to play, right? So first I'm going to show you guys, if you're on the Forex side, I've made it really simple, and these changes are coming to the stock side as well. So on the Forex side, though, if there are company colors, these guys are set up to buy right now on whatever time frame they're saying they're set up to buy, which means, let's see, BCO USD on the 2-hour chart. If we do that, go to the 2-hour chart, and notice, just like with the arbitrage band, the pink line can't leave this top gray band. And if we turn back on the arbitrage band, we also see that the arbitrage band is the smallest trend, the smallest radio station in the frequency. It's also saying that, yes, we just triggered a buy. Literally, I didn't have to do any work. I literally just saw that it was the right color, and notice this is in the right place, that's in the right place, Z's in the right place, the RSI is in the right place, and we're ready. If we wanted to play this on a 2-hour time frame, we absolutely have the ability to do that. But also, wouldn't it be great if we could statistically tell you how long you're going to be in this trade, right? We can. So if I'm using, let's say, for example, I'm playing this and I want to play just to the top of the arbitrage band, right? So if I'm using the arbitrage band on the hourly, it's about 3 to 12 days. So if I'm using it 2 hours, it's roughly a month. It's going to be as little as 1 week to 1 month that I'm going to be in this trade. And I can accept that, because basically, based on the size of the band, we're telling you how long the trade will be. And basically, if you're there longer than that, then more than likely the trend has changed on you and you have not set the alerts properly to catch that it's turning around. So statistically, yeah, that's going to be about a 5-day to 25-day trade from the bottom to the top of this band. So if you're playing Forex, that might be something that you want to play if it's in your wheelhouse and it's something that you want to do. Likewise, if you see these bright red, so let's look at EUR NZD, same time frame. And notice it's in a cell. So I'm going to spread this guy. And notice the black line is at the top of the band. Notice the pink line for the apocalypse band is at the top. Notice he's red. Notice he's under. Notice he's under. There was nothing I had to do except go fishing. And we made the heat map really easy to read. So of all the ones that are out there, it instantly highlights the ones that you may want to play on whichever time frame you want to commit the amount of money you want to commit. All right. The next question I usually get is, okay, fine, fair enough. Yep, Mike's already in that cell. So he's using the chart just like it should be used, right? So, sorry. So just like these heat maps are here to help you, there are also people who like to play more aggressively. So everything that's on the Forex heat map are conservative entries. The uptrend or downtrend has already been confirmed if you're seeing these colors, right? On the Z heat map, these are aggressive entries because it's ran out of probability, but that it's still in a sell zone. For example, USD HKD, let's go take a look. And that was on the minute chart. Because once again, we're not trying to tell you guys how to trade. We're trying to basically give you the opportunity to trade whatever you want, wherever you want. So I'm going to turn on Z on this time frame, and it should show us that, yes, just a few minutes ago, he was out of bounds. Nothing said that this guy is going up. He hasn't actually gotten across the line to let us know, but it is showing, yes, we dipped. Yes, we dipped. Yes, we've been going down. So basically, if you're using this system, all of the stuff that's based on Z are aggressive entries. Everything that's based on the Forex heat map, those are conservative entries. And they're there for you. Likewise, if you don't want to go fishing, you still want to use the other tools that we have in our arsenal, let me show you some of those. And I'm going to thank Joseph Pate particularly because he asked for time frames to be as tight as possible. At first, we used to only do the 15-minute chart. He got me to branch out and was like, hey, we have this other data. Why aren't we using it? So absolutely, thank you, Joe. I'm not sure if you're on here or not yet, but thank you for encouraging me to go past the data restraints, and we figured out a way to make it faster too. So yeah. Okay, Joe is on here. Awesome. All right. All right. So this is the old school way that we used to do it. Remember, I told you there were 5 radio frequencies. From left to right, it goes from small radio frequency, and each one has an upper danger zone and a lower danger zone. So this is our arbitrage band, upper and lower danger zone, novice band, upper and lower danger zone, intermediate band, advanced band, and finally apocalypse band. And you see a key is up here showing you what the AUDZ stand for. That's arbitrage upper danger zone and arbitrage lower danger zone. So if I'm looking for just on the Forex pairs, there are 86 that we're currently following. If I'm looking for, if I type in the word yes, it's showing me what time frame am I on? I'm on the 15-minute time frame for Forex. And I typed in yes, and it says that 8 of these guys, just the arbitrage band, is aligned for, it's basically overbought. So it means if I type in CHF HKD and go to the 15-minute chart, it shows that we are, in fact, out of room, and that guy is sitting in that upper danger zone. But you notice something, I'm not sure if you do, this isn't in the right spot yet, and this is not in the right spot yet. So basically, we would be waiting for these guys to go back under the line and back under the line before we made our entrance. The only difference between these indicators, this is basically you're prospecting, you're trying to find smaller trends. Our system is designed to let you find smaller trends, but also point you directly at the bigger trends. So that way you do have less work to do and can just enjoy the ride up or down. And typically, the filter that the heat map is set to is, for example, if I'm trying to find all the ones that are ready on the 15-minute chart that are in the lower danger zone for the apocalypse band and the lower danger zone for the arbitrage band, we got HKDJPY and USDJPY. So both of these guys are sitting at the very bottom, but this also hasn't said that it has confirmed an entry yet. It's still saying, yes, I'm in that danger zone, and yes, I'm in that danger zone, but it hasn't actually triggered the buy yet. So once again, if you're playing aggressively, you can look at it this way to find things to figure out what you want to play in the near future. So as you see, he is there, but once again, below, nothing is saying that it is a buy yet. Once it gets back over and retrips and everybody gets back in the green area, you can consider playing it. But that's what's great about this system, right? So say, for example, I clicked on this guy. I clicked on this guy and say, okay, add him to my watch list. He's now on my watch list. That means arbitrage will now give me alerts on this guy. So that means if he wasn't ready, when he is ready, he'll send me an alert. So I don't have to wait. And notice he's saying, yes, I'm sitting down here, but Z and whatnot are not ready yet. And in the very near future, we just had our board meeting yesterday about automation. We have a couple things more to finalize on that. And yeah, somewhere within the next week, we're expecting to actually release it and make the announcement and let the first people in to do that. So it'll be as little as, okay, it sends me an alert, I click trade, and basically you've already pre-set up the lot size and everything that you wanted to trade at. It'll just buy it and the number that you normally buy for. So we have exciting new stuff that is coming. On the stocks side of the house, we have the intraday filter, and this is pointed at the S&P 500. Everything on this list, there are about 2,500 stocks that are just on this list, and this is pointed at stocks that are between 0 cents and $15, as well as all of the S&P 500. So if I want anything that's above $15, when I type in that, there are actually 559 stocks on the S&P 500. And it allows us to see all those, as well as the Forex pairs are still being populated into this. So if this was before we separated Forex off to its own thing, we have to go back and clean up and remove them from this if you're still just using this one filter, right? But at the same time, if I'm just looking for a stock between this and that, and I type in yes, so there are none that are currently sitting in the lower danger zone and ready to buy in that way. So let's try the opposite way. I'm going to type in yes and type in yes right here. So there are 9 stocks. Notice Apple on that list. It's saying it's still set up to go down. Let's see. Let's go look at Apple. Oh, was that? Yeah, it was Apple. Okay. So this guy, he is sitting. Wait, did I cross him? No. Okay. All right. So this guy, he is sitting there, and he's sitting on top, and this is on the 15-minute chart. So he's already basically he's down here. If in the smaller trend we're expecting up, but the larger trend says he's been going up for far too long. I'm expecting a sell-off to be coming for Apple in the very near future. He may make it as high as to the middle of this line, but I'm expecting him to sell off in the near future. Everything is pointing in that direction currently. So that's why it's important to not only have, I prefer to look at the big picture versus the small picture, because the small picture will sometimes lie to you. It'll give you, okay, if you're there and you may get like a few hours of up, so it may go up to 285, and the next thing you know, you bought and it's down at 249. All right. So, yes, we have stocks, and we have basically it helps us to find stocks that are in our price range or things that we just want to play. Additionally, for people who say, okay, that's great. However, can you tell me, I usually play within the $1 to $5 range, or the $1 to $10 range, or the $1 to $15 range. Can you tell me something that I can buy at a bargain right now, right? So I type in $1 to $15, and this is using our Almanac filter. Our Almanac filter is set to show you when things are overbought or oversold based on the litmus being the very first day of the month. So from April 1st until now, everything that was in the $15 range, like for example, this guy, he was $6 and he lost 87% of his value. But notice it's not showing any colors. This allows us to readily see the ones that may be ready to buy because we're applying that heat map across the entire site, even to stocks, to be able to say, oh, okay, you guys have lost 87%, but you still may not be my best bargain. We've color coded these guys, so let's go see if he's ready. So this is on the daily chart. Let's look at PFH. Go to daily. And basically, this is an aggressive entry, but it's still an entry. I would wait for this guy to get back above the line, and he should be right at this black line. And notice, he's almost set up perfectly for us to buy. This green color means that a buy has not actually executed. So once again, if I like this guy, right, I go here, I say, no problem, add him to my list. And now he's on my Wall Street. So any alerts that I want for this guy automatically show up here. And when I click on Wall Street, anything that I'm watching, I have a nice heads-up dashboard to show me all the Forex pairs that I'm watching, all of the stocks that I'm watching. And there's a third thing that we have called disciplines. Disciplines help us, say, for example, I only want to play stocks that are in the penny category. So notice these guys barely move, but if I'm buying 2,000 to 3,000 shares, that's almost $200 for me. And it's a penny stock, so I'm not tying up a lot of money. So yes, we have, and all of that, all the disciplines are located under the winners report. So like, for example, if you've gone outside the arbitrage band and you're under $5 or $10 or $15, or you've gone above, basically it's saying that you have to come back in. These are all aggressive. All the 3 steps up plays are all aggressive. But if you take them, you can follow the disciplines and basically look at the charts, see if the level NZ agrees with you. If both agree, then you can take the trade, right? So we have a lot of tools in here. We want to make sure that you never run out of things to play. And we're even going to be moving Slack. We're moving away from Slack to a new platform called Riot, and that's going to be available sometime within the next month as well. Our deadlines are on track to be met for all the ones that we've committed to in the Slack channel. So if you are already in paid traders, there's a message that's pinned with the dates that things are supposed to be released. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? I'm going to open up the floor now. You can unmute yourself if you have any questions or if you want me to go over anything in particular.
Royce.
Yes.
You hear me? So in the last part, when you were showing the, say like the Apple, if I go set up a buy there, like how you?
So basically, I think I know what you're asking. I think so. For example, window of opportunity, right? This is a 1 to 3 day trade if you were using the arbitrage band. So basically, it means you have 1 to 3 days to make your money and be gone, because in the next 3 to 15 days, a downtrend will be happening.
Gotcha.
So it means you have to be quick if you're going to be using that band on that time frame.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Anybody else?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can.
So I'm just looking at the pricing, and for the novice level to start with, that comes with, and I jumped in, sorry for jumping in late, but I jumped in about 20 minutes late.
Oh, no problem.
So I got most of it. So all of this that you were describing comes with the novice plan as well?
Yes, all of this. I intentionally put all the tools at the novice plan, and how I consider it, I allow you to get lazier as the price go up. So basically, that
Right.
means we're doing more work, so it means that's why it's costing more, because I'm having to have people do it, right?
Okay, and so is there like a training on how to use them? Just because I know I missed, like I said, a lot of it on how it works, but is there?
Yes. So inside, we're currently setting up our videos, and we're trying to move to AWS Cloud to basically host all of our videos so they can be faster and not impact the performance of our current servers. So that's the holdup for this, the videos not being hosted by our website. Currently, all of the videos are on Facebook in the group under videos.
Okay.
And after this one, I'll be uploading this one as well.
Okay, perfect. And we'll probably just get a link through there once we sign up and everything. Okay,
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Something else I want to make a note of, so because some people don't know this, we have a referral program. In our referral program, the referral program allows you to get $10 or 10%. Like, for example, if you're at the novice level, 10% of any person that you get to join their membership gets added to your credit each month. So if you are paying $100 to be in the system, and you get 10 people to sign up, then technically your arbitrage is free. And you can use that extra money to actually put it towards trading. So it's basically, it's there to help grow the community and help grow awareness of arbitrage. So we have a lot of tools and whatnot in place to make sure that we try to be as inexpensive and least impactful to your budget as possible. Okay, anybody else? I think I see someone chatting in a question.
Yeah, it's just me, Royce. I'm just letting everybody know that anybody that needs to, because I believe that was Mike that asked that question. Anybody that needs the videos, I can tag you into the videos. It's like 16 or more of them. So
also in on the Facebook page, on the side here, you can actually find them as well. An easier link to get to them. I'm not sure if you guys knew that link exists over there. The only difference is you don't see the titles. Okay?
Right, and that's the problem, and that's why I be having to tag people into those videos, because they look at them in out of order, and it's kind of hard to, yeah. So,
yeah, we're working on that, Jason, to make sure that we get that formalized and with titles and dates, so that way they can know what's being covered in each video. Okay? All right. Anybody else?
Hey.
I got.
Sorry.
Hello.
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 Oh, hello, Elizabeth.
So you were talking about the referrals. Are these are we allowed to share these videos with people that we're trying to refer into?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anything that gets them in. Our biggest goal is to make sure that you guys make money. So however they come in, hey, please use the tools that we make available to you guys, because like I said, they'll thank you more than they'll thank us, right? Like you show them this, they make money. Yeah, they have no complaints.
So if the videos are on the private group, how do we go about sharing it?
Basically, invite them to the group.
Okay.
The Facebook group is completely free. So basically, anyone can come in. Yeah.
I didn't know that because it was a private group. I thought it was just for members, so that's why I didn't invite them.
Nope, it's just private because of the information that we share.
Okay.
Yep, we are good. They are actually based on the movement of all of the equities. So basically, It's a statistical representation of how long it takes movement-wise on each time frame for those candles to move across whichever band. And it's basically looking at about 102 years worth of stock movement and Forex movement to calculate those rough numbers. Sometimes they do move fast. Like, for example, those 1 to 3 day trades can happen in as little as 2 hours, depending on the size of the candle.
Hey, Royce, it's Joseph. That's one of those things that Royce just hit on a very good point, is that windows of opportunity is just good as you're learning and getting your feet wet, because they are very accurate with the averages. But for every one that's 2 hours, there's another one that's 6 days. So it's not way off, but those are the averages. Now, one I've noticed, crypto, since it's open, I got 24 hours, that does seem to be different on the windows of opportunity from what I've seen, and you can speak to that, Royce, but it's more about watching, just keeping these up while you're maybe even cooking or doing something, and like predicting, even if you're not actually paper trading, before you put your money in something, you could say, I think this is what's going to happen. This is what I think I'm reading the charts as. And if it works out, you go, okay, that was good. If it doesn't, why wasn't it? Was that a fluke, or was that me not reading the charts right? So you'll find that if you keep looking at these bands and these charts and trying to predict and saying, hey, what if I put in $20 into this or $100 into this, you can start seeing trends across different stocks and building your skills. But Roy, is crypto different timeline since it's 24 hours for those windows of opportunity?
It's the same amount of time. The only thing, the charts only move when the market is open. So, for example, because it's 24 hours, it takes roughly the same amount of time, but the time in the market. Okay, so for example, the U.S. stock market, we're open about, I think, 7.5 hours each day. And crypto is open 24/7, right? So in that 1 to 3 window, that one to three day could be 18 hours, or it can be as little as 6 for a regular stock, right? And I guess that would make crypto, give crypto the ability, since it is open, but that would be the same thing for Forex too, right? It all depends on how much they're moving. Because the averages completely depend on how much movement and where they are in the band when they begin to move.
So then that comes down to that practice. If you see the difference, like I could just roughly say, okay, I'm going to divide crypto by 3 since it's open 24 hours, but I can start watching them and thinking about and saying, okay, it's at the bottom of the band, it's in the lower danger zone, and seeing how long it takes to get to the other side once it does cross over. And then
you'd have to do samples on that to make sure that basically that's a good average, right? Because cryptos are technically very new to the game. I think they're the youngest vehicle, and we only have about, I want to say, 17 years worth of data on them. So the skew could be quite significant.
Gotcha. So I'll use the windows of opportunities for crypto with a grain of salt and practice and play, and there's nothing really that beats practicing.
Yeah, this is true. I'm also developing an intraday chart. So as opposed to the longer chart, so basically I'm developing one specifically for Forex as well as intraday. So basically it won't go longer in a day, so you can try to figure out which band you want to use on which time frame, both in the crypto and the Forex world. Okay. And I think, Joe, we've actually even talked about that once.
Yeah, I believe so. Because eventually we can, as we build out even more training materials, then we can have more maybe specialized windows of opportunity if it makes sense. And and to speak to, I think that was Eric's question. I'm not sure who it was, but training material is so important. So there's videos on Facebook, but I know the whole team is working on more and more, because as we grow, we want to scale that training materials. We want to be able to show it off and make it easy for people. I love the green and the red. Some of my new people that have gotten into it, just the uptrend, downtrend. If you really just even red light, green light, I mean, it can be that simple. And the extra indicators just help kind of confirm which way the wind is blowing. So I like the extra tools to give that confirmation.
All right. Someone just asked for XAU USD on the 15-minute. Thank you, Joe. Okay, so this is my prediction on this guy. He's still in the red. Because he is in the red and this guy has been going down, he can stay in this red. What I'm thinking is going to happen, though, I think he's going to have one more rebuff and try to get back up to this 1711 before rejecting it one last time and then actually falling the rest of the way down. So for a longer term trend, we're definitely expecting down, but there may be a blip like this up for a little while. That answer your question? Okay, perfect. All right, anybody else? We got about 4 more minutes. If not.
Hey, Royce.
Yes, sir.
Sir, are you able to back test using replay?
I have not done this on TradingView, but yes, we back tested thoroughly to get to this point in the game. So we have a 97% accuracy rate. So there was definitely a lot of back testing done prior to this and even a patent. So yeah, we've definitely done a lot of back testing. The biggest issue that I usually see in the system, and I'm going to be frank here, most people, like I said, it's really easy to get into a trade, but whenever the trade starts to go against them, they will start to ignore the indicators. Like, for example, on this guy, right? Get in, he told you to get back out. Get in, get back out. It will always tell you which way it's going. You just have to decide if you're going to listen to it. And that's the biggest hiccup, right? Because you always want to be right and you always want to be right, period, right? So to eliminate that type of confusion, I go to the biggest band. So basically I only have very few signals. It told me to get in right there. And once I was over the pink line, it told me to get out right there. So that way I don't face a lot of ins and outs, or basically I'm not playing on the wrong radio station trying to get big gains. I'm trying to get big gains on a small band. That doesn't make sense. I should be trying to get big gains on a big band on a small time frame. All right.
Got it. Appreciate it.
No problem, man.
Hey, and Royce, I know we're running out of time, but SGD, hold on one second.
SGD-CHF?
Yeah, CHF. It just went like a crazy blue candle, and it's.
Oh, that's it.
And Z is oversold.
On the 15. Yeah, the market just opened.
Yeah, and long term, if you look at the 2 hour on the Apocalypse band, it's looking beautiful. I found it on the Forex heat map.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
So buying it now and playing a longer term 2 hour, it's just a good. I like it. So
I agree 100%. It is an aggressive play, but if you're playing on the 15 for your entry, you won't get a better price.
Yep, I just got a lot.
Oh boy. All right, guys. Thank you all for joining, and we will see you guys next week.